From the high plains of the Midwest, I bid you good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, whatever your time zone might be. My nod to the late and great Art Bell. I'm Keith Sharp.
And I'm G. Dressel.
And we welcome you to Life Afterlife, a paranormal webcast where we talk about the paranormal, UFOs, or the unexplained. And the biggest question of them all, what happens when we die? Stay tuned. Good evening.
We're back.
We're back finally.
Golly.
Did you miss us?
We gave him a little break.
Yeah, we did give you a little break. We needed a little break too.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, what happened is I got exposed to someone who had COVID. And so I had to isolate for like 10 days. Garrett couldn't come over.
My kid was breaking her hand. And
yeah,
all
and then
sorts of
his
crap going on.
Yeah, so how is she?
She's fine.
Yeah, his daughter, my granddaughter, broke her hand. Was that the week after, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, so then it was the Thursday. We were planning to do a show Thursday.
Oh, yes.
And then Garrett calls me and says, hey, she broke her hand. I'm like, oh, no. So we decided to just call off for the week.
Hey, I will tell you, though, on that Tuesday when I came over, I did get to, spend some time in the studio. I love being in the studio.
Yep.
I've been doing that lately. Notice?
You've been coming over and hanging out.
Yeah.
It's connected to my bedroom, so.
We just chill.
Just chilling out. Well, I hope everybody had a great Christmas and a happy New Year. Let's hope that this year will be better. Well, we said that about 2020 too.
Hey, I honestly think 2022 is going to be the best year ever.
But it's for the Sooners. Ooh.
Oh, yeah.
But Caleb entered the transfer
that.
portal, but let's hope he doesn't go anywhere.
Yeah.
But anyway, it's been an interesting year for sure.
Well, dude, my the pipes bursted at the gym.
Huh?
The pipes burst at the gym on January 2nd. Oh, that's okay.
Take that out.
I'm saying 2022, January 2nd, the pipes burst at the gym, and I'm still telling you, I still think it's going to be the best year. I was telling everybody at the gym, I was like, hey, I know this is crazy, this waterfall that's coming in right now. I still think it's going to be the best year.
Do you?
Yeah, I do.
I hope so. That's a bad start. Yeah. But anyway, okay, so let's get some shout outs real quick.
For sure.
We got Garrett in the house.
Garrett's here.
Mona, hello. Glad you're back. Let's see who else. Got D. Berlin. Hello. Mel, hello. Patrick, hello. Hey, Patrick. We haven't seen him in a while.
Hey, Pat. Hey, Mona. Woo, woo.
Kim
Mel.
F.
Kim.
Magenta, hello.
Hey,
the lovely Magenta.
Hey.
We're alive.
I'm doing a live show.
Garrett takes a phone call.
I just answered this because you keep calling me. Is everything okay?
He's got a business, so he's got to check,
dude.
make sure it's nothing important. So,
all right, dude, I'll call you later. Bye. Sorry about that. Anytime somebody calls you more than once, it's like, okay, what's going on? You know what I mean?
Yeah, this show is just going to be. I mean, first of all, we just want to thank everybody for hanging with us for a year. This is no thrill show. We're just going to kind of talk about some of the stuff that, some of the shows we did, and then later, I'm going to show you the biggest, what would you call that?
I think you called it a blunder.
Biggest blunder I think we ever, because we always have we used to have horrible time with the intros.
Right.
Always.
Yeah.
Always.
Yeah.
And well, we still do.
Well, yeah, a little bit. But I mean,
this
was severe.
This one was severe, where it was almost in panic mode because I couldn't, we'll get to that here in a minute.
I literally had to, when you were playing it earlier, I had to exit the room because I was laughing so
hard.
I
was laughing too. It was hilarious.
Because we remember these. I mean, I think because here's the thing, we have kind of a tight knit Life Afterlife family, right?
Yeah.
So I think some people will probably recognize that.
But yeah, some of you
were there.
Yeah. Why? When was how long ago? That was at was that the year before last? I'm looking at it right now, you guys. Hang on. November 19th.
That was right, right when we started. That's okay.
Well, of 2020. So this happened in 2020.
But we're saying the year in review, we've only been on really basically
a little over a year.
Yeah.
A little over a year. I think October is when we first started of 2020.
63 shows we've done. This is our 64th show.
64 shows. Wow.
We spent a lot of time talking about stuff.
We have.
I think we've changed a lot.
Yeah. Well, we got off on crime for a long time, and then we finally got back to paranormal, and then back to crime.
Yeah.
Which, ma'am, have you guys read? There's a book by a guy named Drew Beeson. It's called "Sighting In on the Zodiac," and it's about he thinks. And for some of you, and I'll get off this because I know some of you might be bored with the Zodiac killing, but that's one of my all-time unsolved cases. I want to find out, and I don't think we ever will.
You really don't.
I don't know if the DNA they have is very good,
right?
Or it's good enough. They got a profile, but
we're gonna talk about it.
We are gonna talk about it
because that was a big one. And I'm also, man, I hate to say fan. That's just I was about to say I was a fan of the Zodiac case.
Oh,
but I think that's kind of what's unique.
It's okay if you say the case, not a fan of the Zodiac Killer.
Yeah, the case, right? Like it is really fascinating.
It is very fascinating, and for the fact that how we might as well talk about it. We're talking about it.
Well, no, wait.
Okay, wait, because I got something. Okay, let me first say this.
Okay,
I want to give. Hang on a second. I got to do this. Make sure I get all these sounds right. Right.
It wouldn't be a show if we weren't playing with the board.
That's right. Here. So I got to give Garrett a big round of applause.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, I've been busy with some stuff at work and some other things I've had to do in my personal life. So he pretty much put this show together.
What's something I've wanted to do for a while.
And it's something you wanted to do. And then Pam brought it up too, which reminds me, Pam is sick, so she's not here tonight. So Mona, I know you're in there. I think I gave you a wrench, didn't I?
She had a wrench. She has a wrench on mine.
Okay, good. So I need the moderators to, not that, usually we have a pretty good group.
Yeah.
It's usually only when we do the Delphi show that people misbehave.
Yeah.
And God, I'm so glad. I mean, those guys who commit their whole shows to that.
Yeah.
Woo.
We're gonna talk about it in a sec.
Yeah, we'll talk about it.
We've learned a lot.
I couldn't do it.
We've learned a lot from the outside looking in.
Yeah.
Because that's what we are.
But
we're on the outside, you and I, though, like our show. Like we're on the outside looking in. Really.
Yeah, and
we just kind of dip our toe in there every now and then.
Yeah, and I'll let Garrett. He's going to go ahead and read. He wrote a little thing for a year in review.
Yeah. So a year in review, and it's funny because we used to do this a lot. In fact,
oh my God, I hated that part. We used to read and read and read.
You'd be like, "Hey,
from scripts.
We need money to have like a chair that's falling apart." You're like, "No, we need the ink."
Oh, that was hilarious too. Yeah, Garrett, for you guys who've been with us for a long time, Mona, I know you were there, but Garrett, we used to have this chair. Every time Garrett leaned on it, dude, the freaking arm would just pop off across the room.
Oh my God.
And so that was that's the first thing we bought from donations was Garrett a chair.
Yes. Well, I wanted to do video clips. I was going to cut them up and stuff.
Oh, that'd been hilarious.
We're just not there yet.
Yeah, we should put a video clip together of every time your chair thing popped up.
It happened like 10 times.
It would last. It would last
every show.
Yeah, it'd last 5 minutes.
Okay, so a year in review. Okay,
a year in review.
Okay, and I'll pull this a little bit closer. So we did it. 60. This is our 64th show. Okay, first off, cheers to the Life Afterlife family. Yep, thank you. This whole thing has become so special,
and we do love you guys. Thank you so much.
Right.
You make it special. You're why we're here. So thanks so much for showing up. Go ahead.
Okay, so myself, along with Keith, Pamal, Larry, and Single 7,
who will be on a little bit later,
are beyond grateful. We have the chance to sit with you all every week and push ourselves to think outside normal boundaries. This is not something we take lightly, so thank you. And it's not, because you and I talk a lot about it. Like, we talk about some deep stuff on top of all the craziness we have going on. Also, a special shout out to the one and only Art Bell. Amen. Because without this work as a trailblazer and Keith's keen ear for what cool people listen to, this show would probably not exist. The Mandela effect style.
Oh, God.
Can you imagine if this show and there's another life and this show's not existing? I wouldn't want to live in that world.
I wouldn't either.
Okay.
I'd like to see it, though.
Yeah, it'd be interesting. This is now a place where we come each week and talk about the unexplained and mind-bending topics that have fascinated all of us for years. Topics and issues, mind you, that will continue to captivate and challenge our imaginations as humans. I feel like at the end of the day, this is where we all meet and coexist, which is extremely humbling and, again, very special on our part.
Yes.
That we're able to have this group of people that, we only know through YouTube, and we meet every week and talk about these crazy things. Thank you. And we're nailing the sound effects right now.
We are. It took me a year and a half,
dude,
but I've got it.
You got it. It's
now.
amazing that this idea has led us to where we are here talking with you guys. This is our 64th show. And in the previous 63, we've had the pleasure of talking to some of the most interesting, intelligent, and influential guests and covering topics ranging from ghosts, demons, heaven, hell, and reincarnation, Bigfoot, aliens, eerily specific readings of psychic mediums across the globe, time travel,
Yes.
time travel, true crime, past and present, and the most important question of them all, Keith. What happens when we die? Yeah. So I think I can speak on behalf of Keith and saying, myself and Keith, and saying we have both learned a lot so far. This show has taken on a life of its own and continues to open doors and create paths we had no idea existed. So let's keep the show going and growing. And with that being said, let's start our year in review. Okay. Thank you.
Oh, wait.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
And let's see. Kim F said, wow, happy first. Been watching y'all since Bugs, the Bigfoot Killer.
Yeah, we'll talk about Bugs. Hey, Mona said, don't forget Bigfoot.
Yep.
Earlier, I was trying to give you a little softball when I said, I think we've all changed a little bit.
And Magenta, just stop it.
Hey, you know what? I had to put in across the globe because of Magenta. If it wasn't for Magenta and Delta, I could have left that part out.
Hey, Joey Lau. Nice to see
Joey.
you guys. There's some people who popped in that while you were saying Glam.
Okay, yeah.
Glam Van, good to see you. Happy New Year. Happy New
Pat
Year.
has beef with some guy.
Uh-oh. I have a beef with that guy. Which guy?
I don't
know. The author we were talking about, or
I'm just glad Pat's back. He's been working
yeah,
hard.
so Patrick, let me know, because I'm planning on reaching out to him, have him on the next couple
we had
weeks.
A weird kind of thing.
Oh, he said single 7.
Oh yeah, you got a bone to pick with single 7.
Yeah, well, and
Rick will be on.
Yeah, Rick's on the road right now. He said he will try to call in before the show's over. So Rick's a big part of this show now. As we ended every. But another good thing, if you would have put together all the single 7, if you're out there, contact us, put all those together.
Yeah, we have it there for a reason. We'll definitely cut it up.
Yeah.
And I still believe as a time traveler, Pat. So
right. Garrett, come to Manchester where I live.
Yes. I for the longest time did believe that Mona was residing in England.
So Manchester, where is she
England.
at?
I can't tell
she's
her.
not.
I'm not going to tell you.
Oh no. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But she's not in Manchester, England. She cleared that up.
Okay. Yeah, because you kept saying tea and biscuits and
yeah. I just felt like she was. I don't know. Maybe.
Why did you think that?
I can't remember. I don't know. There's no telling, dude. We've been on this show for like 150 hours talking to each other.
That's incredible.
Well, what's incredible is like.
It's incredible that people come back every week.
Well, I think it's crazy too. Like one of the things before we got into this, I was going to talk about was, yeah.
No. Okay. No.
Yes.
We'll drink tea and eat biscuits. That's Magenta actually does that, I'm sure.
I bet she does. Well,
no, Magenta, I haven't worked on my British accent. It's not a British accent.
It's a Liverpool accent.
It's Liverpool.
Yeah.
And and just for your information, I've had 2 people when I do it, and it's probably because it's weird for me on camera doing it that I don't do it that good. But I've had 3 people from the UK after a show come up to me and ask me what part of Britain I was from. And then I had one guy from Liverpool who asked me he goes, so you're from Liverpool? And I said, no, I'm not at all.
I'm from Mustang.
And he goes, oh, you're hamming me on. I was like, no, I'm not from the UK. But it would be like if you asked me to pick up a guitar and sing for everybody.
Yeah,
right now.
but listen, but if you had the get up on, it would be totally different because I think that's part of it. It helps. Right?
Yeah, it helps you step into
the character.
The character, absolutely.
You're like Daniel Day-Lewis.
For me to just sit here and do a British accent probably does sound horrible, but once you get in that character and you're in that frame of mind,
I've seen it.
Yeah, you've seen it. And like I said, hey, I've had 3 people from Britain thought I was from Britain.
Well, unfortunately, I'm around a lot of British people because I said, unfortunately, I'm around a lot of British people because I work in soccer.
I may have sounded Australian when I talked to you, but that Magenta, the thing is you
this isn't
talking to doing an English accent for someone from Britain makes you even more nervous. So I probably did sound like I was from Australia. I don't know.
Well, this is actually a great segue into what I was like the preface of the show really fast before we start on the pictures. Okay. because Magenta's talking about Australia and England and all this stuff. But in reality, Magenta, what happened was all of this started, and I don't mind saying it now, and Cass will kill me. All of this started really at a dinner table in Mustang, Oklahoma. So Australia, England, none of that matters. What's crazy is that this started over there at the old house when you brought me over and said, hey, I want to do this show. And I was like, yeah, definitely no problem, right? Like all in.
Oh, yeah. And, dude, I was before, because I thought, okay, he's too busy.
Yeah.
He's got the soccer thing going on. And I mean, I put a couple of ads out, I think, like in our Gazette, just to see if I could find a co-host. And one guy was saying, what's it over? And I said, paranormal. And he's like, oh, good luck getting anybody to watch that.
And all along, I was right there.
Yeah.
Just waiting for you to ask.
I wanted to ask. And I thought, because I was talking to Pam about it, and I was like, man, he'd be perfect. And I thought, but he's so busy. I don't think there's any way he could get over here.
Well, it's funny, too, because I was at like kind of a different point in my career then, too. And so even in the intro, I was like, man, I don't know yet. Right. Like I didn't even believe in Bigfoot at the time. So a lot of things. I'm like, I'll be like G Dressel, right? Just in case, I didn't know. And then all of a sudden we did like the first couple of shows, and I'm like in the gym telling everybody like, dude, I got this live show on, like, come to our show. And I'm so excited about it because I was like, oh shit. Like maybe I do believe in Bigfoot.
It was, yeah.
Oh my God.
I think, you did, because I remember, guys, when I first brought up Bigfoot to Garrett, he goes, yeah, some big animal tromping around the woods. No one's ever seen him.
I would have to step out because I couldn't stop the giggles.
Yeah.
Even with aliens. I remember.
Yeah, he had the same problem with that.
Yeah, I'll say it now with Amber Lee because we used to do pre-interviews.
Yeah.
There was a pre-interview we were doing, and she's a great guest, dude. She came on for hours and hours with us.
Yeah.
But I remember the pre-interview having to mute it for a second and like step out and leave because I was like laughing, thinking about these aliens and stuff. And now I'm wearing Bigfoot hats, and I'm like, well, I'm not tonight, but I totally believe in it all. So it's been incredible.
Your mind has been changed, has it not?
It has, totally.
Okay, so also, Garrett, let me say this too. If you have a memory or something you want to share with the rest of us, one of your favorite memories of the show,
yes,
I put a link right over here, and
he's pointing down.
I'm pointing down. You can't see it, but I'm pointing down in the chat box. You can click on it. I'll bring you in the show.
It looks something like this.
Well.
It looks something like that.
It looks like that.
Yeah, from Life Afterlife.
For Goody 23.
For Goody 23. All right, so let's go, guys. Really fast, guys and girls. I wanted to start out the show with what was like could potentially take the most time, what was most controversial, and what also. So these are the criteria, and also what was most fresh on our mind. Okay,
where's Susie Heath at?
Susie.
She's probably on Graz's channel.
She's probably mad at us.
Why?
For not coming on the show last week.
I've talked to her in the past.
Okay.
She's a mod for a bunch of people, so she may be modding.
Oh, Kim F.
She's cheating on us, Garrett.
Kim F. Look at that.
Hey.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
My bad. That's
Which one is it?
Right there. Do you need your glasses?
Oh, Kim F. Thank you so much. I will check that, and you're very awesome.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Eventually, Garrett will wear that chair out. So.
Yes, I will. We'll need a new chair.
No, God, remember how much ink we went through?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. If you guys remember, we were talking about, we read. I mean, we were printing. And I hated that part of I like just doing no scripts. I mean, not that we had a script, but it was just a narrative, right?
Right.
And it just, I hated because I'm not a great reader. And if you
like
watch those
loud,
you read better than I do.
But I don't like it.
I know. And that's why towards the end, hey Tim, good to see you.
What's up, Tim?
Yeah. So I would like let Garrett do it because I would. Oh God, here's a funny. We let Garrett. Didn't mean it like that. Garrett was narrating the show one time, and it was one we had probably 16, 20 pages. It may have been a Zodiac. I can't remember.
It was.
And somehow the pages got mixed up.
Oh my God, dude. No, you walked into the room and you like tripped a little bit. The pages just flew everywhere. Dude, it was 27 pages. I'm not even lying. I still have it.
And it was right before we put it back together.
We did.
Haphazardly.
We tried. We didn't.
So we were just like crossing the fingers. So man, and it's crazy because
so much.
We do a live show. There's no editing.
Well, that's
nothing.
the worst case because there's so many moving parts in that case.
Yeah. So Garrett's reading, and all of a sudden it jumps like 2 pages.
Oh my God.
And then we have the awkward part of, as Garrett's putting these pages back together.
Yeah. And I think that's when we were going live, because the first few episodes we didn't like go live. Like we just did an interview or we did it vocally, right?
Yeah.
And just had a picture or whatever. And then the first one we did live was, I think it was the Halloween one. The Halloween special.
Yeah. And guys, we were originally just going to be a podcast. We weren't going to do anything live.
That's all we do.
In the beginning, my cousin, she was a moderator, and she liked the podcast so much. She said, "You guys are funny. You need to, people want to see you." And I was like, "No, they don't. No, they don't." Because I didn't want to do it. Right. And it was like, okay. So yeah, we did so we finally went live on Halloween night of 2020.
Mm-hmm.
And that was our very first live.
Yeah. It was so
fun.
That
was, it was fun and scary at the same time. And then that's where, I was learning OBS at the time, which I'm not using anymore. And oh my God. I mean, there was not disasters, but it's just,
learning. Hey,
learning, a big learning curve for me.
Yeah. Growing pains, man.
The thing I miss about OBS is it broadcasts in 1080 and on StreamYard is 720. So we don't look as bright.
Bugs the crap out of you.
It does bug because, hey, just for like when I was watching.
Hey, Rick's here.
Hey, there's Rick.
Single seven.
Oh,
up, looking great.
Hey,
dude.
You got a haircut.
I got a haircut today. Yes, it was getting a bit long.
Yeah, I hear you.
You look good, man.
Oh, well, thank you very much. What are we talking about?
Well, perfect timing because
we're just doing a year in review.
Keith was just nerding out on some like technical stuff about his equipment.
Wow. Kim Francis, again, I just checked my Cash App. Thank you so much. That was a very, very generous amount you gave us. I really appreciate it. And it does help with the show because we buy ink. In fact, I just bought a new camera so that when Pam comes back, she's not coming back tonight because she's sick. I've got another camera now so I can put Pam on at the same time that we're on.
Right.
I bought 2 new studio lights. So we got a camera, 2 new studio lights, and my aliens.
Love
over
those,
here.
Dude. Love those.
It's a male and a female.
Oh,
that was important. Pat just said Pam Cam. Yes, that's
Pam Cam.
Dude, that's well done,
Patrick. That's awesome.
Pat loves Pamela. Pat's Pamela's #1 fan. If you don't mind, Keith.
No, I don't mind at all.
A cash out from Pat would actually help Keith liking you more.
I got a cool microphone for doing podcasts.
Yeah. So Rick, when are you going to start your podcast?
I believe it'll be mid-February.
Nice. Well, you're going to have to have us on.
It's going to be a different kind of podcast than you're doing. It's going to be more goofy and.
Can I come on?
Yes, you guys will probably be my first guests.
Nice,
dude.
I'm going to do the first show. Will be the
Thank you so much, Tim.
Single Seven. It's going to be called Single Seven's Timeline, and so.
Oh, I love that.
I like it,
dude. I love it.
Yeah,
and I'm so excited.
And a week before you do it, we'll have you on anyway. So it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I was going to say, push the hell out of it, man. Let everybody know. We'll advertise it on our Facebook.
Yeah, I like coming on your guys' show. I had
we
to
love
go
having you on.
I was on my way back from New Orleans, and I got your text, and I was like, oh, I got to get home.
Year in review, Rick, and what's crazy is that like we were kind of talking about it earlier, and just kind of we'll go through some more specific things, but without even knowing for a long time, you're a huge part of our show and why we were doing it.
Yeah.
And, hey, what are you eating? What do you got there?
He's asking what you're eating.
Were you eating something?
Yeah, jelly beans,
dude.
I am hooked. I eat jelly beans constantly.
I love that.
And you're diabetic?
Yep.
Well, you and Keith have so much in common.
Yeah. I know, dude. I'm diabetic and I still eat stuff I'm not supposed to eat.
And I'm drinking a root beer. Oh, Jesus. And I take, hey, I forgot to tell you, I found this today.
What is it? It's upside down.
It's
what is that?
Oh, it is. Yeah, it is upside down.
Oh, is that a Bigfoot?
It's a Bigfoot.
Oh,
Bigfoot call.
Yes.
But they only had one left. I was going to buy a couple for you, but they only had one left.
How funny.
I was out in the woods doing Bigfoot calls the other day. Remember? I told you.
Yes, he does. Do your Bigfoot call for everybody.
Ooh. I learned that from Gus G. What? Stop.
Oh yeah, you could get. Art Bell used to have a Bigfoot call on his thing that he played all. Whoop, whoop, whoop.
Yeah.
See,
I remember that. Now
I
watch a
just
Bigfoot
saw
come in
Mr.
and grab
Ballin-
Rick.
I just saw Mr. Ballin episode today about the Bigfoots.
what episode?
Mr. Ballin, he tells these stories.
Oh yeah, the Navy SEAL guy.
Yeah, and he tells these stories, and he had 3 stories of Bigfoot attacks.
Did you believe him? Did you believe him?
No.
Okay.
They're good stories. He tells good stories.
Yeah, he does.
Hey Tim Bray, thank you so much for the
Thank
super
you,
sticker.
Tim.
$3, Tim. Love it.
There it is. Hey, you are like
I haven't
8
missed
for
a
8
beat
right now.
I haven't missed a beat yet.
Okay, so hey, really quick. Here's the structure of the show, Rick. Here's how we're doing it today. Is I broke this up into 3 categories. I went back and looked at all 63 shows we had done, and I basically broke it up into you're gonna love this: crime, okay, paranormal, and spiritual. Oh, good, Pat. Love it.
Pat says I'm going to prank you to get even. Heads up. I think he's talking to you, Single 7.
Yeah, Pat has a bone to pick with you. He's like a huge Single 7 fan. Hey, Pat, don't be mad.
And
He's a
pranking is my favorite thing in the world. Go ahead, Patrick.
Yeah. See, this is all part of a big guise by Rick to throw us off of his trail. Look at
Oh my God. Kim F says her husband has one of those Bigfoot calls.
Cool.
Where did you
I
guys?
bought it at the Dollar Tree, the dollar where.
Yeah. I'm going to see if our Dollar Tree has
God, I
one.
wish I could buy a couple for you guys and send them off, but
That's hilarious.
We'll go take a look.
And thank you for the postcards. Those make me smile each time I get one.
I think I sent a couple off today. Did you ever get the card where my epiphany was too long for the postcard?
No, I don't think so.
Really? It was a little tiny card with birds and.
See, I didn't get that one.
Yes, I did.
They're all going.
Yeah, that epiphany. I call them epiphanies, and it was too long for a postcard, so I had to.
Well, just so you know, they all go safe and sound inside my lockbox of sensitive items. So, okay, here really quick. Here's the structure of the show. Okay,
mine go in the refrigerator.
His going. Okay, here's the structure for the show.
Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
63 episodes. I said, okay, crime, paranormal, spirituality.
We cover it all.
We cover it all, right? Okay, so first one, let's just knock it out. Pull up the Delphi. We have to.
Delphi is the one you guys
pictures.
do a lot of.
Pull up. Hey, you know what?
When you say okay, yeah, you're talking about the
pictures.
Really, okay, my bad.
Hey, you know what? I'm gonna skip that. Impromptu change it.
Okay, wait.
We don't need to do Delphi, do we? Got to go over it again.
I there's nothing to say other than I will say this. With the news about Keegan. Yeah. Kagan. And I hate to even say this live, but
that's the dude with that I just can't stand looking at with the cap and the fat dude with the cap.
Well, I'll just say this: he's under suspicion big time. I think it's someone related to him. Me and Garrett saw a picture of his father, and I think that is Bridge Guy.
Okay. Yes,
I do.
And hey, I will tell you that I was doing a training session in a backyard today, and I had a mom run out, slam the door open, and say, "You guys were right. It was catfishing."
Yeah.
And so, yeah. Okay. And I think that really the reason why I put Delphi on here, obviously, is because that was a huge part of our show, man. It really made us sharpen our iron sharpens iron, right? We got pressed under fire for our Delphi episodes. And then that led into the Evansdale case in Iowa. I hope that, that could still be linked. I'm not throwing that out. And then,
yeah, I don't think it is. It could be, I can't say, but I don't think it is.
Delphi, what about the old man who owned the
Ron Logan?
Yeah.
Yeah. People thought maybe he was the killer, but the guy's over 70 years old. He really doesn't look like the Bridge Guy. The funny thing is he don't look
like the Bridge Guy. The other guy, he looks a lot like the Bridge Guy.
Yeah. The kid's dad is
Right.
a ringer.
Right. I think that thing, just in conclusion for me, I think that hopefully that's going to be solved here in the next year or two. I think the digital footprint was really hard to track down.
Yeah.
And that they're coming through that. And that's going to what
well, I think it's,
and
the alibi, the guy has an alibi that I think they're trying to crush the alibi to have an indictment.
Unfortunately for him, I think, is that his alibi happened to be in one of the most highly secure, like CCTV ridden cities in America, which is Las Vegas.
Yeah.
Like if I were him and trying to create an alibi out of state, or he may have even went to Las Vegas, right? And he's trying to figure out how. So in conclusion, on my end, though, I think that's how it's going to be solved. And I really hope it is. And I really hope they can link it to other cases that will be solved.
Yeah.
Because I don't think this is I think that this indictment that's going to go on for this guy with 6 cell phones, dealing with what he was dealing with on the criminal side, I think it's going to be huge.
Yeah, there may be more to it than we know, and
there may be linking people in that are higher up. I think that when we look back at what Matt Sullivan was doing in the beginning, because I brought this up even today when I was talking to this mom about the case, is that like catfishing is also a financial crimes and all sorts of things, right?
Yeah.
Blackmail. So even if he was acting as a female and getting somebody like a state senator, or which is, dude, it's not hard. If you reach hard enough, you're going to find somebody that's going to bite, right? That's what catfishing is.
Well, they had the, what was it? God, was he a judge? I think was caught with the prostitute in the hotel room, and she recorded the whole show, the whole thing.
Right. So I think that these tentacles are really, there's a lot of them and they're far reaching.
Do you think they're all going to be connected? I mean, but it's not all going to be connected to murder though, right?
Well, no.
I think
Right. But I'm saying
the corruption, there's corruption everywhere you go.
But here's the thing is, as soon as people start finding out that they're somehow linked to this profile or these profiles, I think that there's people out there that are just going through their days, maybe judges and lawyers, that still have no idea that they were somehow catfished by this guy.
Maybe.
Right? Because a lot of catfish, it's like a problem. It's like a hoarding problem, right? It's like something in their brain that makes them have like all these different accounts.
Yeah.
So there's no telling how many people he's affected and are involved in this and have no idea.
Yeah.
But the feds aren't going to let us know that, right? Because as soon as you start seeing that you're tied to something, even from a distance, what are you going to do? You're going to start sabotaging the investigation even more. So that could be why they're staying tight-lipped, right?
Yeah, it may be. Hey, Mona. Oh, I'm sorry. Susie Heath, thank you for showing up.
Yeah, Mona, I did. Yeah.
And and the Delphi, man, I'm so glad like I was going to say at the beginning, but you wanted me to wait, is I'm glad we don't just do a show on Delphi. I mean, right now there's so much drama going on between all these creators. It's unreal.
And I see a ton of different channels on YouTube with Delphi. I mean, I don't even pay attention to them anymore.
Well,
they're just all over the place.
Like, full disclosure here about myself is that the only dealings I have with YouTube are when we come on Tuesdays. So I've been like really, and I'm not going to say fan, but I've been really intrigued by this entire thing to the point where Keith and I were calling it the Delphi situation. Because we're not even in it, really. We just kind of cover it, because of the investigative side of things. And this thing has taken on it's become this whole other monster almost on social media and YouTube. It's just bananas. I think that there's going to be a lot has changed, and there will be a lot written and covered on Delphi in the next decade.
Yeah.
In hindsight.
I'm hoping
that's one of the reasons I never really came on your show with the Delphis, because it bothers me.
Oh, dude, we talk about, I mean,
those two little girls, it just bothers me.
Well, combined, Keith and Cass is going to kill, my wife's going to kill me, Rick, when I say this, but combined, me and Keith have 5 daughters and how many granddaughters. So even that last episode with Matt Sullivan, dude, I was like taking deep breaths every like 10 minutes. Like, okay, reset.
Yeah.
We're back in.
Well, I watched that show. Yeah, I watched that show.
It's intense, man.
It's hard to, I still can't imagine someone torturing and killing little girls.
Yeah, it just boggles my mind, and it
does me too.
It makes me upset to know that there's people like that on this earth.
Yeah, it's scary.
They shouldn't be. And there's many other little girls that go missing and little boys that go missing and they're tortured and dead. And it's just, it drives me crazy.
Well, I was just telling Keith right before the show as I watched this. Actually, I watched episodes 1 and 3 because I didn't feel like watching the episodes 2 of this Times Square serial killer special thing that just came out. I don't even know the guy's name, but he was convicted, I think, of 8 or 9 murders. But he just 25 years after sitting in prison, not talking to anybody, no reporters, nobody. He was just quiet. He 25 years later comes out and he says he was killing somebody every other week in Times Square, which would, if you do the math, he was active for 13 years. We're talking 80 to 100 people.
That's crazy.
Which is insane to think about.
Was he doing it in the 70s or 80s?
70s and 80s.
Times Square was just
a madhouse.
Times Square was just a cesspool back then.
Exactly. Well, that's how he was able to get away with it, and that's why I wanted to kind of watch this, because it gives you kind of a glimpse into the mind of somebody that we aren't. Like, none of us can imagine having a family and a job, and then on the side killing 80 people and cutting up their bodies.
Okay,
like what in the world, right? Like, it's insane.
That's crazy.
So that's why we do the crime portion. I pull up Zodiac real fast because I'm glad, Rick, when I heard you were coming on, because I'm much younger than you and Keith.
Yeah, you don't need to say that.
I know. That sounded horrible.
Well, the reason I bring it up is because Zodiac was such when.
Where is it?
Okay,
you guys just did this weird thing. You guys just did this weird thing where you went forward in time and then backed up and then went right back.
Exactly. Let's see what this is right here. There it is.
What the hell is that? That's a Zodiac Killer.
Yeah.
Dude, I lived in San Francisco as a kid at the time he was killing. And this guy scared the shit out of me as a kid.
I'm sure.
I had nightmares about this guy looking in my window because I lived there. He said he was gonna find a bunch of kids on a bus and kill them.
He did.
He never did, but
thank God.
And my mom wouldn't let me go to the sourdough factory in San Francisco on a field trip because of this guy.
That's crazy, dude.
Yeah, it affected everybody in San Francisco. In that whole Vallejo, Venetia, where he had his killings at. And before you came on, Rick, there's a book by this guy named Drew Beeson called Sighting In on the Zodiac. And I'm going to reach out to him and have him come on. He's got he's got a good theory about who he thinks the killer is. I won't say anything. I'll wait.
I mean, because we covered that show too, or we covered that.
Yeah, well, he thought it was Arthur Lee Allen's friend, Don Chaney.
Right.
Which I gotta say, man, I kind of wondered about that myself.
What was this? I can't
That's
remember.
the watch from the Sherry Jo Bates murder.
And why was that significant? I couldn't remember.
Okay, well, why? I'll tell you why it's significant now. This team of 40, they're like ex-FBI, ex-cops, and they specialists, and they believe that they know who the Zodiac is. There's a guy named Gary Post. CNN got a hold of it. Fox, I think, got a hold of it. TMZ got a hold of it, and they announced it, which I was really surprised because
for sure, it's
all circumstantial. This guy was a house painter. He lived in that area, in the San Fran area. The watch, what happened is that from the Sherry Jo Bates case, that was a watch that belonged to the killer. And why it's significant to these new group is because there were little splatters of paint on it.
Interesting.
So, and with Gary Post being a house painter, they're trying to connect that.
Whoever the Zodiac Killer would have to be dead or extremely old.
Oh yeah.
Because I was 10. I remember, I was 10, 11 years old when I lived in San Francisco.
Yeah.
So why was this watch significant when we did our show though? Because I found it in your files.
Well, because it was
just found there, and
because they found it at the crime scene, and it didn't belong to Sherry Jo Bates.
Right.
And it was a male watch, and they think during the struggle, because she had a handful of his hair.
Ooh.
One thing, which would be great DNA evidence. Right. And again, we never hear about the DNA. But see, there's a lot of people that don't believe the Sherry Jo Bates murder is a Zodiac murder. Okay. I think they're connected just because he sent a letter. He used 2 words and misspelled one of the words, which Zodiac in a letter used the same word and misspelled it as well.
Would often do.
I don't see how it couldn't be.
Right. Right.
The problem I have with this Gary Post guy is they said that everybody who saw the Zodiac, Brian Hartnell.
Damn, you took the watch off.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
It looks like an old Timex watch. I have all my father's and my grandfather's old Timex watches, and it looks like an old Timex watch.
It does. I can't even, I can't read what it says on it.
Of course, Rick has watches.
Well, if you look up on that
Tons of
little
them.
shelf, you'll see tons of watches.
I'm not surprised.
They're all Timex. My father taught me to buy Timex, and my grandfather had Timex, and we have all the
Timex
watches.
too.
Yeah.
Love Timex.
I had an old Mickey Mouse Timex back in the day.
I have my Mickey Mouse watch too.
I wish I still had mine. I don't have it anymore. But you okay, Rick?
Excuse me.
Okay.
Jelly bean went down the wrong pipe.
But anyway,
Really, it did. When I was talking about the watches.
But what I was going to say is the Gary Post guy, he's a lot thinner. The Zodiac was told to be like in between 200 and 250 or something like that.
Right.
A heavyset guy. Brian Hartnell described him as overweight, big, husky guy. Mike Mageau said he had barrel chested,
Right.
Wavy hair. And this guy looks like he's maybe $180, $170, something like that.
Right.
Not as big. And it's just surprising to me that they would come out and make a statement like that, because there's just not a whole lot of, it's all circumstantial evidence. There's
Right.
They say that somebody told them where the two guns are buried.
Right.
That was used in the crime scene. It's high in the Sierra Mountains, they say. But they need like a helicopter. They need this whole team to get to where it's at, because you can't get there on foot or something like that. So they're waiting for that.
Wow.
And then the DNA hasn't been.
Please.
I know.
Waiting on that.
Yeah. So the DNA hasn't been established.
You got 40 specialists with ex-FBI connections, and you can't get a helicopter to go find the Zodiac guns. Get out of here.
Yeah. I mean, they say they know exactly where it's at.
How did the Zodiac Killer bury those guns if he can't get to them? Did he have a helicopter?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Well, because the
Great point.
topography was different then.
Is that what they're saying?
It's probably what that's probably what they're saying.
Yeah.
But yeah. So anyway.
And then next was so I'll go ahead and do it.
And the Zodiac Killer was so, oh God, Charles mentioned the Zodiac Killer was so weird because of those letters that were in code.
Right.
Just weird.
And they finally cracked that one.
Yeah. Well, and that's kind of like, I think that's kind of because me and Keith, when we do our show, we always, like, I noticed this in hindsight, is we'll kind of latch on to some theories and different things. And I know, like, for my MO for Zodiac, the reason why it's so interesting to me is the amount of detail he went into, even like with this getup he's wearing right here with the codes. I felt like that was kind of the MO of the Delphi situation. Even Evansdale, is that these guys were all really pre-planned. And even the Beavers case, like, there was some, we were butting heads with some people on the Beavers case that said, oh, this is just a break. And I didn't believe that. I think it was really calculated. I was just so I guess related to this case because my mother was so afraid of this guy. Oh, sure. I can't
imagine.
imagine.
We lived there, she just wouldn't let us out, and
Yeah.
I really can't.
I lived on a military base. I lived on Travis Air Force Base.
Well, he was wearing military issued boots.
Yeah, he's wearing wing walkers.
And that's what they said constantly. And I used to walk to my middle school. The junior high school. I used to walk to it. It was right off post, just about 50 yards, and she would just freak out about that.
Right.
Yeah. He had the whole town held hostage. People were.
He still has us held hostage. I mean,
he does in a way. We're still talking about him. Yeah,
and that's all these years later.
Yeah,
they made movies about him and documentaries.
I mean, listen, Zodiac with Jake Gyllenhaal and
great movie.
I mean, it's really unbelievable. If you want to talk about a movie, because I know, like, I'm a horror fan. My brother's like a huge horror fan, and just like crime, psychological thrillers. I love movies. You talk about great cinematography and just really like a movie that will get you freaked out over a crime. Yeah. Zodiac's one of the. I mean, that movie is unbelievable. I mean, you said it on the show. The director actually went to the spot and made it look almost like eerily similar.
Yeah, he actually they took trees and actually brought them by crane, a helicopter, some of them, and brought them by crane and put the trees where they actually were during the Lake Berryessa killings.
You watched that recently, didn't you? Rewatched it or during that show? Probably during that time.
No, I have. Last time I watched it's been several months ago. But
you can recall that scene though. I mean, to me, that's the most disturbing scene of.
Yeah, where she's getting stabbed. He's watching it, and he said that was pretty much exactly how it looked when that happened.
And he's still living.
Brian Hartnell, he's an active attorney in California.
So great and so humble.
Yeah, very very cool guy seems to be. All right, so what?
Here, hey, listen.
Hang on.
Go ahead. Go. Yeah, you went to Manson, another dude.
Yeah, another crazy.
I mean, listen. Pamel's not here. And, yeah, I mean, shoot, dude.
My wife hates the whole Manson thing.
That was the first
time. I think it's awful. You know.
Yeah, it
is. It's horrible.
Yeah. But it's massively part of our culture. It's massively a part of our society, and you know, like even our difference in age, man. Like for me, it was the Manson situation is totally different than your experience, right?
Yeah,
because it was so fresh. Were you alive when this was going on? You were young.
Yeah, it was only when I first heard about it. It had only been 6 years.
Dang.
So yeah.
Right.
And I wish it would go the alternative in the movie. It happened in Hollywood.
Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I wish it would have happened like that.
Oh, me too.
Oh, for sure.
That movie was so great. I was in the everybody was clapping.
Yeah, I watched
during that part. When the Manson people were getting killed by Rick Dalton.
Oh my God, dude.
And Cliff Booth.
Yep.
Yeah, that dog.
Yeah, dude. Freaking love that movie.
That was great.
Amazing.
Yeah, I have a flamethrower.
Yeah.
I mean, you were reading about this though, like in 7th grade, weren't you?
Oh, no. I was in elementary school.
I mean, reading it, but you got upset. Like not obsessed, but you got pretty like into this case.
19 when the book Helter Skelter came out, I think it's 75.
Yeah, it was 75 or so because I read it.
Because then the movie, the TV movie came out in 76. That's when I really started getting into it, and I read the book.
I've never seen that. I didn't know there was a. I didn't even.
Yeah, it's a really good movie. I mean, some of the acting's horrible in it, but it's,
right.
But it's a good movie.
For
nonetheless.
Sure. And just also, this is another one where you're like, how in the world did this? Because this wasn't just one person, and that's something we talk about a lot in our shows that we do. Is like a lot of times it's just one person. It's hard to pull off anything with more than one person, right?
Yeah.
And this is kind of different than the other cases we covered, just because, according to your theory, is that this is just something that kind of started to unravel and snowball because of situations that were not necessarily in Charles Manson's control, but he was in control of it, right? It's like a slippery slope.
It was a cult. It wasn't like the other ones you're talking about. This is a cult.
Yeah.
Right.
Bona fide cult. And you know, I'm really into cults. And I try to figure out why people act and give themselves up to these cults.
Yeah,
it's a lot of reasons. I've actually had cults written down on the extra stuff because we actually covered cults as well. We had a guest on that was an active member of a cult for how many years? I think 20.
Yeah, and there were like so many points in Manson's little cult met every one of them.
Right. Yeah. I think we printed out like there was like 20 the list of no, it wasn't. It was like 12 or 13 little check boxes, and the Manson cult was just.
But there's a lot of people out there, man, that are. I'm not saying Manson sympathizers.
Yeah, there are. I watched a whole documentary today about cults. And cults that I'd never heard of, like realism and just these crazy things I never heard of, and. It's just crazy that there's all these cults still going on. I mean, besides Scientology and
Heaven, we covered
the other weirder ones.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, we talked about Heaven's Gate. I remember that.
Yeah, it's crazy. But I
Heaven's Gate that's connected to Art Bell. Did you know that?
No.
You know, Heaven's Gate, Art Bell, they were big Art Bell fans. And Art Bell started talking about something in front of Hale-Bopp Comet.
Hale-Bopp Comet, yeah, something that was trailing it.
They took it from there and thought it was a UFO that was going to take them to heaven and stuff.
Whew. Man, that's a seriously weird case.
It was after about a year after Art Bell talking about Hellbop and something being in front of it.
Right.
Which there wasn't.
That makes sense though.
Yeah, I remember that.
That makes sense. Again, like I said in the intro about Art Bell, man, you know, like this show, we wouldn't have started it. I don't think if it wasn't for Art Bell and, you know, Keith.
No, you do the Kingdom of Nye thing pretty close to Art Bell when you do your intro.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, I copied that, and of course I say to the great, you know, my nod to the late and great Art Bell.
Well, okay.
And I wrote a email to Vice. Have you ever heard of Vice?
Yes, of course.
They make all these documentaries, and they had ideas, and I wrote them. Hey, you need to make I also told them you need to make a documentary about Single 7, but I told them you need to make a documentary about Art Bell.
No, for sure.
Somebody needs to.
Yeah. Hey, Matt Sullivan from Crime Dive.
Yeah. What's up, Matty?
And speaking of Matt, we've had him on
6 hours,
3. Yeah, we've had him on 3 shows.
9 hours.
Yeah.
Because we always go late.
Yeah, we just talked about Delphi a little bit there. So,
just briefly.
Yeah, just all the crazies come out on that show.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure.
But yeah, we were talking, Matt, a little bit about the drama. It's unbelievable to me right now between all the creators. I'm not saying you,
of course,
but there's some, you know, wow.
Unlike any crime that we've at least been around or covered, right?
Yeah.
I mean, to the point where they don't even have like documentaries or anything about it yet because it's still evolving, right? Like the game is still like rolling out.
It is evolving. And
we were just moving past. Wait, I was reading Mona's real fast.
She just put, and then hello at Crime Dive from Mona. Susie says Matt and Kate are awesome. Yes, they are. They're very awesome.
I have my screen. I can't read your comments.
Oh, okay.
Because I can't see it. I'm like,
you're all up in there.
Yeah, I got it. I like I said, I got a camera too, so I'll start doing all that on.
Nice.
And Kim F says the drama is all about Summer Wells. Yeah, there's drama there too.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's kind of turning into that, isn't it?
Yeah. There's 2 or 3 channels that are just all they devote their time is slamming Don Wells on. That's all they talk about.
Right.
So man, for their sake, I hope I don't want to say I hope he's guilty, but you know, I don't know, man. That's another case that I don't know. The timeline just doesn't fit for Candace and Don on that. I just don't see they had enough time.
Right.
Let's see. I'm just popping stuff up about reading it. It's hard to understand why people would listen to Manson and do sick things. If he was so-called God, you would think killing is wrong. So why would he ask us to do it? Yeah, I think Joey, I think he thought it was the better of the good. It's kind of like you know, when we fight a war, we have to kill people for that war.
You have to dehumanize.
And to Manson, it was a war against society because he believed that, you know, it was going to be a race war. He was going to be the king of everybody. And they had to get the war started. So some people had to sacrifice. So some collateral damage, I guess.
The other theory, which I am kind of leaning more towards after all the conversations we have, is that they were kind of some junkies. They were taking a lot of extracurriculars. He was dosing them and you can have a lot of influence over time. Right. And so I think it kind of just got messy and they were his soldiers and his pawns. Then he was able to deal out. Right. And so
I think he wanted to kill the director, and I can't remember that damn director's name.
Is it
Sharon Tate's husband?
Yeah, the French guy.
Yeah, Roman Polanski.
Yeah, Polanski.
The guy who can't come back to the United States because he slept with a 14-year-old.
Oh my God. Yeah, that's another disgusting.
Anyway, that's who he wanted to kill, but he wasn't there that night. So they killed Sharon Tate and her unborn child. That's just too bad.
Well, I think the real target on that, Rick, was Terry Melcher. Manson performed for him because he wanted a record deal. He wanted to be a rock star. And Terry Melcher had lived in that house. And I think he was killing, well, I think that's such a bad term, killing 2 birds with 1 stone, but sending a message to Terry and at the same time trying to start this war.
Didn't Manson at least he said he recorded with the Beatles or was going to record with the Beatles or
do what now?
Didn't Manson, he claimed, or he actually did, he was going to record with the Beatles.
No. He was obsessed with the White Album and played it constantly, but no, and he thought the Beatles were giving him messages through the songs. And
maybe that's what I'm thinking of.
Yeah, but no, he didn't have any plans on recording with the Beatles.
But he was, he was around.
Terry Melcher just said,
the Beach Boys, right?
He hung with the Beach Boys. He became friends.
Maybe that's who I'm thinking of. Yeah, the Beach Boys.
Yeah. Dennis Wilson actually used one of his songs, but he changed the lyrics and the melodies different quite a bit. And Manson was furious about it. And he went and went to the office of the Beach Boys manager, threatened the guy. And the guys, said, well, look, Charlie, if you don't get out of here, I'm gonna make a call to New York, which he was just saying for the mafia.
Right.
Basically. And Charlie told him, I'll call New York.
Your Manson voice is one of a kind.
Yeah.
Dude.
So it's like, okay,
I'll call New York.
Guy's nuts. And And
I got an uncle who looks just like him. It freaks me out.
That's horrible. But yeah, he was a piece of work for sure.
Okay, so because you know how we do it, dude. If we don't get on it, we're just gonna talk about crime for 14 hours.
Talking.
So listen, I'm sliding on to aliens and UFOs really fast. Okay, here I got you.
Where are we at?
We're gonna go ahead and go right here. Because
what's his name's
that's Bob Lazar.
That's Bob Lazar's model.
Yeah, Bob Lazar's who actually worked in Area 51.
Right.
Yes, he did.
He knows all the things.
Yes, he does.
It turns out he wasn't working in Area 51 as an engineer or anything.
How do you know?
I don't know. He made a lot of predictions about Area 51 that pretty much came true.
Dude, his name was in the damn phone book at Los Alamos.
Yeah, his name was in the phone book at Los Alamos where he said he worked, but they said
but he wasn't an engineer like he was saying.
Yeah, I don't know. I do know a lot of things he said about Area 51, like how they clocked in and stuff, and people were saying he's crazy.
Oh yeah, I think he actually worked there.
Yeah. But what do you thought? As a janitor or something?
Okay. So hey, really quick, great documentary for all you.
Yeah, Bob Lazar, Flying Saucers. It is
awesome. Good. Okay. Hey, but what about this then, Rick? This is the
that's one that gets me, man. Those are Navy pilots, and they're talking about
these are full bird colonels. Your father was
that's something I can't deny, and I just don't believe in UFOs, but I don't know what those are.
Yeah, because even with physics, this thing's defying what we understand.
And I don't think those Navy pilots are lying.
No doubt.
Yeah, Commander Favor,
Favor
was the one that. Yeah, he's been on a lot of shows talking about that.
There's been some other ones coming out now. Yeah, there's some more stuff about.
And he said, when he locked it in on his radar, and he said it just boom.
Right.
Because that was released by the government.
Pentagon released that.
Under pressure, I'm sure. Well, the crazy thing about this situation is this actually ended up at the location where he was going. It vanished, right? It didn't have a heat signature, which is kind of very odd, right? Anything that's
impossible. But...
but yeah. So on our alien cases, I'm going to give you my theory really fast. And it can kind of, first off, after you're done, I'll let you, because my
no, go ahead.
my alien thing.
I'm looking up something.
Okay, because my alien thing is going to go into the next topic. Okay, so I'll just go ahead and give it real quick.
I have a UFO thing too, real quick. After
okay, you go. No, you go first. Go first.
No, because it's ridiculous.
No, I want to hear it then. Really?
You need to watch a video called "A Visit to the Underground Cities of Mars." It's about UFOs.
Okay, where do you? Okay, a visit to the what?
Underground Cities of Mars. It's
What's
actually
it about?
A movie.
What's it about?
It's about UFOs.
Do you believe? Like, why is it crazy though? Like, did it make
you
you?
have to see it.
Does it? So you 100% unequivocally don't believe in extraterrestrial?
No, I don't. Now this I don't know how to explain that. I really don't. Because this is unexplainable. This is a UFO, an actual UFO.
Yeah, it is.
It has no heat signature. It's defying physics.
Well, this is what was crazy.
It has reputable people behind it.
Right.
You know? So
well,
that's UFO.
Here's kind of the crazy thing about you, though, Rick. Single 7. The Single 7 side of Rick is that we were covering this story and doing these stories when we didn't know Rick. We only knew Single 7, right? So one of the things that we had talked about, because we're always going to bring up the pros and cons to every show we do. And at the time, I was still even kind of pushing back on aliens. But one thing, because we believed in time travel, because of Single 7, we were like, well, what if these are an advanced species of human beings, right? That are time traveling back. Could that be possible? Single 7?
Well, that was what when I was supposed to go on Art Bell's show a second time, and it didn't happen because he left for that reason. That's what I was gonna start talking about, was that these men were actually people from the future, and they were trying to like terraform the planet for themselves.
Right.
I had made up a whole litany of lies about all that too.
Yeah, for sure. I love that we got him to admit that it's unexplainable.
Yep, we're gonna make you a believer.
Crime Dive just said that time travel is theoretically possible. I don't believe that. Anything's possible, but theoretically, no, I don't think so.
I don't know how to take that thing down. Sorry.
Oh,
I know how to do everything but that, but I believe that impossibility is a man-made invention. So I feel like that it is possible. And so we shall see, hopefully, when they freeze my body and bring me back in the future.
Are you going to have your head cut off and put on a monkey body?
Me and Walt Disney. Me and Walt Disney.
What's it called?
Walt Disney already has one of his robot bodies.
Yeah,
that's hilarious.
He's walking around. I saw him in California. I'm serious.
Hey, listen, I mean, we did a show over artificial intelligence.
It's scary.
The way that this
artificial intelligence is real, though, and it's scary.
Well, that's the thing about it, though, is that, and I forget what the term is called, but the moment in which, and if Larry was on, he would be able to tell us, but the moment at which artificial intelligence surpasses the knowledge of a human being. So how are we as human beings able to?
Oh God, I used to know that term. Now you made me mad.
All right, I'm sorry.
2030.
Oh man,
around 2030 or 2050.
Freaking yeah, exactly. 2032 maybe. So, that's when you start calling these kind of things into questions.
You're gonna have to look it up because it's gonna drive me crazy.
I love what Mona said right here, because we talk about space a lot and aliens, but dude, there's parts of the world we haven't even been to.
Yeah,
deep ocean stuff we have no idea about.
There might be some UFO guys hanging out under the water.
Well,
a lot of them say the Tic Tac video.
They go into the ocean. And come out.
Well, there could be those lizard people living under there. That's where they're supposed to be.
That's where Jim Morrison's at.
The reptilians.
Yeah, they're supposed to be the ones that rule our society.
The lizard people, yeah.
They live under the ground.
Mm-hmm.
Mona says
they can do hypnotic and hallucinations to make you see them as something else.
And
then they eat your brain. It's
Yeah, Mona says, I think UFOs are advanced military airplanes, not aliens. I think some of them are.
I do.
I think most of them are, but
the ones
on that, that's not an advanced airplane.
Yeah, that's nothing we have.
But what if
and the UFO I saw,
right.
I've never seen another. I mean, and that was over 40 years ago.
Right.
I've never seen anything like it.
No, the one I saw 40 years ago turned out to be an airplane. So
right, I remember you said that. Mine followed us and it shot down light and all sorts of weird shit.
I mean, you guys don't believe in aliens? Listen to an Elon Musk interview.
Well, I mean, the universe, it's
numbers.
Yeah,
I don't want to listen to a rich guy who makes fun of poor people.
Well, I mean, that's my point, though. He's like an alien. He's like part alien.
Well, he looks kind of like one of those reptilian people.
I'm telling you, dude. Like, yeah, it's crazy. And even
I wouldn't be surprised if he gathers with all his rich friends and they eat livers from people and shit.
Yeah, dude, I'll give him something to chew on.
Oh God.
Okay, let's see.
Matt says what I mean. General relativity allows hypothetical time travel towards the past. Anyways, the future is complicated. I agree. UFOs are something.
But general relativity doesn't mean time travel. It's more like you're going so fast that time has slowed down behind you. It's kind of like you're in suspended animation with time, and then time catches up, and so you're into the future suddenly. But it's not really time travel. I guess in a way it is, because you're going into a different time. But if you hit the speed of light, time's going to progress forward for everyone else, and you know that.
Right.
And so if you come out of it, so it's not really time travel. You're not really, I don't know. You're not going to be able to go backwards, though.
Well, I've got basically, and you got, call me crazy, I don't care. Two theories. Okay, first off is that it's some sort of simulation theory type thing, right, where AI has advanced beyond human recognition to the point in the future where they have developed a simulation that we're all a part of, right, individually. That's one theory, and it's far out, but whatever. Agreed, Susie.
I hate liver.
The second theory, Rick, and I think that you might actually grasp onto this theory, Rick. Seriously, okay. Out of all the hours we've talked to Single 7, okay, is that I truly believe that an alien could be actually a Bigfoot.
That's a lot of people think that.
That's an episode of the $6 Million Man.
Is it?
I remember that. Yeah. I think it was Lou Ferrigno played Bigfoot.
I love Lou Ferrigno.
No, it was Andre the Giant.
Andre the Giant. That's right. That's right.
Giant. Another great documentary about Andre.
And it's a documentary that you can watch. It's called The $6 Million Man. And he was, Bigfoot was an alien. And then it turned out he was a robot that the aliens made. And then they were making him into a real life creature for his reward for something. I don't remember.
Well, it's interesting because as most of you know, I get to work with a lot of kids, and I've started moving more towards the high school to college age kids. So 14 to 22 kind of, so we can actually have philosophical and scientific conversations. And so Bigfoot has been one of the things over the last year I've really talked to a lot of kids about. So it's been interesting because they're educated, they're smart. They say, why would an alien turn into Bigfoot? And I think we talked about it on the show. For me, it would be to continue to develop curiosity within the human race, right? To keep us from not being boring. They wouldn't want to come back to a planet if it's a time traveler, an alien, and look at boring people. They would want people like us.
So it's almost like a shapeshifter. Or what is it?
A shapeshifter.
Shapeshifter.
Right. Yeah, it's more like a shapeshifter. So I think a lot of these things are intertwined. That's what I've learned, at least.
But why would an alien want to be Bigfoot?
Because for fun. Why did you want to be a time traveler?
Because
for your own amusement.
I wanted to fool a whole bunch of people, which I was able to do.
Exactly. Yeah. So the reason would be is because we entertain ourselves. And I don't think that would.
Well, that might be a real thing. I mean, if they were aliens and they wanted some publicity. But not too much, because they didn't want to land on the White House lawn. They might be,
Well, a lot of. I mean, hey, listen, a lot of UFO believers believe in Bigfoots, but then a lot of people that don't believe in any of them. So it could be a way for them to kind of throw us off the trail a little bit. Yeah, kind of like you do, Rick, with your whole time travel thing. You're just trying to throw us off your trail by giving us.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I keep forgetting that. I keep forgetting that I'm really a time traveler.
Yeah. You keep forgetting. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm one day when I do my own show, I'm gonna figure out the Adobe and then just beam out.
Yes,
in front of you guys, so you can see that.
That would be awesome. That would be awesome. So, Matt, if you're still watching from Crime Dive, I don't know if you ever listened to our Art Bell review of Single 7. This is Single 7. This is Rick. So just let you know. So
yeah, dude, it's like one of the most unbelievable stories ever.
So it's the coolest thing having Rick on the show with
It'll
us.
be a great Netflix documentary in the future.
It will be.
It. Yeah, 100%. If Vice isn't going to do it,
should be,
dude. It's unbelievable.
Well, I think Single 7 should be a documentary, not just because of the one show that I did, but all the other things that it led to
absolutely.
Later on. And I think I found the guy who wrote the letter.
Oh, really?
I think I found him. And if it is him, I'm going to have him on my show.
Cool.
Yay.
Awesome, dude.
You know the letter I'm talking about?
Yes, that'll make you feel better too, huh?
You know the letter I'm talking about?
Yep. About Art Bell's family, right?
And his wife Ramona and all that.
Right.
Yeah, and that's what snowballed it into a much bigger thing than I ever thought it would be. And that's why it should have a documentary.
Yeah.
Well, not just because of me, but
no.
Well, it is because of you.
It is.
And it should have a bunch of people like you guys, and this is why I'm going to have you on my first show, and I'm already promoting it, is because I want, and maybe if I could get Russ from the Unbelievers, you know who I'm talking about?
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I still have all his contact information.
Yeah.
And if I could get you guys all there, and then my best friend in the world, he's going to make a surprise entrance and have all of you guys so you could talk about what because that the first show is going to be me telling the story.
Oh, how cool, man.
Super cool.
And then have what Single 7 meant to you guys. If I can let you talk. I never can let anybody talk.
Well, I mean, the thing about it is that was the first Art Bell experience I had ever had, was that episode, Thank God, from Keith.
Yeah.
And you really liked it that much.
I did, man. Because
it's my favorite show, Rick. It still is my favorite show.
Listen,
do you ever go back and listen to it now that you know me?
Yes.
Have you done that?
And I'm still amazed at it. And it's still equally as good. Yeah.
To me, it sounds so bad now that you know that, you know, if you know who I am and everything, it just sounds like I'm searching for answers while I'm answering questions.
No, it really, I mean, it's because we are our own worst critics.
Yeah.
You did a great job to the point where you had millions of people thought you were time traveling.
I'm not lying when I say I'm still not.
I thought when we couldn't find you, I really thought you went back.
That I zapped off into the future.
That you went. Yeah, because I
did and came back because it was 22 years ago. You know.
I know.
Yeah, I mean,
my point exactly. Thank you.
I would put in Single 7 searches like 2 or 3 times a week.
Have you seen what's on the board behind me? I just noticed that.
No, I can't.
That's my. I don't know.
Is that your?
Is that the design for the time machine you built?
No, that's actually called a Yith equation, and it's something that I work on for my brain. You know.
Yeah.
It's almost kind of time travel. It's showing the heavens planets and how they rotate.
Wow, he's a time traveler.
I told you he was.
No, I'm really into math. That's all.
I know. Hey, I've had Taylor actually said we got to do this.
So I think you guys.
Walker Ranch.
Yeah,
that's another strange story.
Yeah, it is. That is a lot of weird things that say happen at that place. One.
But a lot of people think it's just that family trying to get money for their ranch.
Right. There's a question for you, Rick.
It will be called Single 7's Timeline. And it'll be on Thursday nights, so I don't interfere with theirs at 7 o'clock.
I love that.
I love it. Love it.
And it'll probably be around the middle of February.
Perfect.
Yeah, are you?
I have to actually call you. I actually have to call you and ask you a couple questions.
Cool.
You know, like, is this format that we're on right now? Does it cost money? Things like that.
And they do have a free version you can use. It's just
I want the version you have. I don't want a free version.
Okay.
We'll get you set up.
Yeah, we'll
that's what those are some of the questions I want to ask.
Gotcha.
Perfect.
Gotcha.
You got anything in the chat?
Very cool, Rick. So everybody's excited about that. That'll be
that's
fun.
cool. I'll at least have a fan base of 14 or so.
Absolutely. Hey, and we just checked out box too, because actually we went from Bigfoot's. I wanted to. Really quick, we'll bring up the pictures real fast.
Okay, now what?
Let's go ahead and bring that up, dude. This is from Gus.
This is from. If you guys remember, Gus G did a show
from Canada
and said Bigfoot left that as a gift.
Yeah, so he left.
Really?
Yeah. He.
That's like scat.
No. It's a rock with those weird formations on it.
So what he did, Rick, was he frequents this park and he gives a whoop. Sorry, Bigfoot calls and he knocks on, and he actually is a fascinating interview. He was so great. He was so well spoken. And so what he would do is he was like, I was at the zoo and I saw some of the primates, some of the chimpanzees playing with kids' toys. So he took McDonald's Happy Meals toys out on a rock and some candy, and he left it there, came back, and that rock was sitting there. This has happened. It's also something Keith had talked about, which is called gifting.
Yeah, God, Robert, what's his name? I can't remember what his last name was. He's on all the Bigfoot shows, and yeah, he said that he had made friends with Bigfoot, that they would leave little gifts for him. He would leave like little gifts for them.
Right.
It still cracks me up because when I brought that up to Garrett, he goes, "What does he do? Like knit a sweater for him or something?"
Yeah, I was like, okay, guy, like a Bigfoot leaving gifts and sticks and and even like with this picture early on, I would have looked at this picture because we started talking about Bigfoot when I would laugh a lot and walk out, and then it like increasingly got more serious as I started going down the rabbit hole.
You would laugh and walk out.
Dude, I couldn't handle it.
That was back before we were live. We used to do just podcasts.
Yeah, we would just record them, and
man, he would
get the giggles, and
we'd have a guest on that would be saying some crazy stuff, and he would start he would leave the room, and I was left by myself with this guest, trying to keep things going.
Dude, hey, listen, I mean, come on, that's how I walk. Like I've been.
Oh yeah, there's that picture.
Yeah,
the famous Patterson film. Yeah,
that. Just the face looks like a slit in some.
I know, right?
Yeah, it looks like a ninja. A Bigfoot
not even
ninja.
A very good mask.
That's a Bigfoot ninja. Okay, Rick, if you don't believe that one, hang on. I got something.
This is the best one.
Well, first off, before I go to that one, let me talk about this real fast. Because in the past, I would have looked at this and be like, okay, guy, like big ass Bigfoot, whatever, we can replicate this. But I told you, you know me, dude. I'm a beach guy. I love going out to the ocean Rick, you're right by the beach.
Yeah, I live about a block away.
This is not so easy to do. I told you I also did it in my backyard with some mud. I tried to recreate this and make it look good. Okay, so there's that. If that doesn't convince you, Rick, let me show you the evidence that took me over the edge on Bigfoot. Okay, when I saw this picture, I thought, okay, Bigfoot combs his hair.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, Bigfoot looks like he's got a
John Travolta hair.
Yeah, disco style, dude. He's going to the disco. Yeah, and he's not too mad. He's a little bit concerned. In this picture, he's thinking, Bigfoot saying, Squatch is saying this. This is Squatch talk. What are you looking at? What is that over there? What is that? Is that food? Is that food? Is that, this is Squatch talk.
He looks like he's about to go out dancing.
Yeah. He's got his lips. He's like checking out a chick.
I wonder,
or a guy.
I remember Gus G said the guy who took that picture, and I can't remember.
Dude, he's really popular. He has like documentaries on like Nat Geo and like,
I mean, I'm sorry, but it looks really fake.
Yeah, I mean, but we talked about in the show that we're like, okay, but great makeup, a lot of effort, a lot of time.
Well, it could be like a mold that they did and painted it, or it could be a mask.
Yeah, but I mean, it could be a number of things.
Yep.
Okay.
All right, go ahead and talk. I'm going to check something out here.
Yeah, go ahead. Okay, so we don't have any pictures for the. Wait, hang on. Is the picture of the Bigfoot with the nice hair still up while I'm talking?
Yeah.
I can't take myself serious. It's almost as if that thing has my voice. So I'm gonna wait. Oh, there we go. Whoa. That's in Canada, I'm sure. Wow.
Okay.
Is that fossils? Are those fossils? Because that's one thing we asked about.
Yeah, let me save that if I can.
Hey, go to save image as right there.
Still have the picture of Bigfoot.
And then
okay, hang on. I'm working on. Matt just sent me a picture. of a fossil or a rock or something that looks close to that.
And he said those are fossils, which we asked Gus G about.
Let's see. Yeah, he said they're fossils.
No, he didn't.
Oh, some beach rocks have inclusions like this. Yes. Okay. So let me you keep talking and then I'll
I'm not gonna keep talking with that guy on there or
what?
Girl. The Bigfoot.
You want him off?
Yeah.
All right. Hang on.
And then I'm gonna talk about real quick before we go on. I'm gonna talk about bugs. Okay, so this is an Art Bell episode as well, Single 7, so you'll probably remember it. Hey, it's right there. Yeah,
I got it.
Okay. Really fast, guys, if you haven't, go back and listen to the bugs episode. Listen, this is the second episode we did, second or third. It's unbelievable. It's an amazing story. I'm not gonna go over it all here. There's the rock.
Ah, look, Rick.
Rick looks
Bigfoot.
like
It's real.
No. Oh, is he gonna be? Oh, I thought he had you can't pull it up. Yeah.
How funny.
Yeah, because Rick remember he dressed up like Bigfoot and those poor people.
But you see, the funny thing, Rick, is we could take a picture of that and go, "That's Bigfoot," and someone would believe it.
I know, and somebody go, "Oh, yeah."
We like Bigfoot was on our show.
Okay, so here's the rock.
These are fossils.
Yeah, Matt from Crime Dive just sent this to me.
Yeah, so you can tell those are like obviously like some sort of cells.
We have those a lot around here.
Right.
So it wasn't. Did the guy try to make it? Oh, that's a good one.
Wait, hang on.
Yeah, did the guy try to make it sound like Bigfoot like carved this rock for him or something?
You asked him. You're like, is that like some sort of communication? He's like, no, I think he just found it. Like the Bigfoot just found the rock and thought it was pretty rock.
A pretty rock and gave it to him?
Yeah, just pretty rock.
But it could have been like, it could have been just like people walking through and they saw the rock and they just threw it down there.
Yeah,
that's what I'm thinking.
Well, we
probably
talked about
happened.
it too, and we were like, yeah, but humans would have left because he left a partially open Snickers with a bite out of it or something. And so what we were saying was, we were like, dude, but here's the thing is like a human would, if they took those toys and that candy bar, they would have left the trash on the ground. It would have been messy if an animal did it. So that was our argument then, was like, oh, but somebody took these toys and left this wonderful gift, this being thought, oh my God, I'm going to leave this rock and take this candy. I don't know. I'm just, don't shoot the messenger.
No, I'm not. I mean, hey, look. Yep.
So Bigfoot likes Snickers?
Apparently so. Apparently he likes. Well, who doesn't like Snickers?
Right.
Well, I love Snickers, but he only took one bite out.
No. The guy that left it had a partially eaten Snickers that he left there. So,
okay. The guy.
So what we were saying was like, okay, like a human's not going to be like, oh, well, let me just if they're assholes enough to take the toys, they're assholes enough to leave the trash, right? So that was kind of our argument about it.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
it's true to a point.
I'm sure any animal could have said, "Hey, this looks good."
Right, yeah. But then we even said with that, the animal's not going to take the trash and go look with its mouth and carry it off and leave and put it in the trash can. It had to be a Bigfoot.
He's calling
it. I'm trying to get Bigfoot to come.
Hey, this
down here is called the swamp ape.
Yeah, I knew that. Yeah. Hey, this right here though, and this could be a hiker. This is from the 50s.
Dilatov Pass.
This is the Dilatov Pass.
The what pass?
This is Dilatov Pass.
That's the guys who
who froze.
Yep.
Yeah, the guy, right. And this was a picture that was developed on one of the
surviving cameras.
Okay, I'm sorry, I'm gonna go on a little bent here.
Go ahead.
But if you want to see a cool time travel movie, there's a movie called The Devil's Pass, and it's about the Delta thing. It's really sure. And it's time travel, and it's really crazy.
It's not really crazy because Bigfoot could be a time traveling human that has made us all into a simulation. So
did you watch that movie?
I haven't seen
it either.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a found footage movie, but it's very interesting, and it's all about time travel.
Right, for sure. Well, Dilatov Pass was really interesting. Bigfoot, right? Okay, go for it. There's a Bigfoot portion to this story. The 8 people going out, all of them are dead. The injuries are ridiculous.
That's crazy. Yeah.
Yep, hang on. A lot of people are saying it was an avalanche. But a couple of them had their eyes and tongues cleanly taken out of their bodies.
Yeah, it's a crazy story, man.
Right. Even some of the internal wounds were described as in the autopsy looking like these people were in a car crash.
Yeah.
Which could happen in an avalanche, but there would be exterior as well.
Well, I don't think it was an avalanche. I think what it was is pretty much the accepted reality is that they started to freeze and you start
crazy
hallucinating, and
true. Absolutely. And that's kind of where I was at with it as well. And they had brought somebody with them that wasn't initially a part of the group. They kind of had a secretive past. Looked like he had been in the military for some time and just for some reason met them on a train station and wanted to go on this hike with them. And, they had burn marks. Where
like radiation burn marks and stuff like that.
Yeah. So this case is really one of those that's just out there. It's super far out there.
The movie's cool because it has like hidden doors that are built into the cliffs and
like portals,
old 50s Soviet shit. It's really cool.
Yeah, for sure. All right.
I know you guys aren't science fiction movie fans, but that's a movie you need to see. It's called The Devil's Pass.
Well, I saved it during when I was researching for this because I really went down the rabbit hole with the Dilatov Pass. I just found it so
but that's such a bizarre case.
Well, yeah, and the fact that they reopened
let's say even someone came and beat them to death. I mean, just the fact that they got out there, beat these people to death, got out of there,
right?
That don't make sense either.
Doesn't make sense at all. So who knows?
Footprints and also, that was, I had to bring that up as part of the Bigfoot segment of this show because that was kind of on the more real side where people were actually hurt, and you don't hear about that very often in regards to a Squatch.
And in the movie, there's a Bigfoot hand that they find.
Interesting. Yeah, so they throw them in there. It could have been. There were reports of lights in the sky.
That's a nuclear experiment.
Yeah,
it was the old Soviet Union, man.
Yeah,
they were saying you guys were born. You don't know what evil that was.
Right, and that was one of the theories was that they were doing nuclear missile testing, and they actually did a test missile where these guys were. And that's what caused all. But the injuries are too weird,
and they're inconsistent.
The
injuries are inconsistent across the party, and furthermore, the collateral damage that would have come with I
don't think there'd be anything of them left, would it?
Right. That's right. That's my kind
not
of
with a nuclear weapon, no.
Yeah.
But if they were exposed to some sort of
radiation,
nuclear elements or something as a test, and it was the old Soviet Union, and they did horrible things to people. I mean, we did too in the United States.
Yes.
The old Soviet Union was even worse.
Mona said Isaac Asimov is her childhood hero. Of course it is, Mona.
Isaac Asimov is everyone's childhood hero.
Yeah.
The rules of robotics, the 3 rules of robotics.
Right. Yep. Joey, I agree. They would have been vaporized. And even if it was a radiation thing, it wouldn't happen that fast. Like if it's, burning.
Right. And why would, and even in the old Soviet Union, why would they find like a group of such a small group and experiment on them?
Well, yeah, in the bodies where they were placed and where they were, and like you said, the consistency of the injury, the inconsistency of the injuries, rather. Okay, capping off the Bigfoot section, the last. Oh, hang on.
What?
Okay, good. Just making sure everything's good. Okay, so the last part of this whole thing, we have to talk about it, is the paranormal side, right?
Yes.
Did you ever have a time travel segment?
Yeah, we did.
Oh, okay.
We did. You missed it.
No, you were on it. You were talking about it.
I was on it. Okay.
No. I said we checked the time travel box because we went down the single 7 rabbit hole for a second.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I'm sorry. Yeah. I was thinking of other time travels you may have had, but the other guy didn't show up. I remember.
Oh, God.
There's only one time traveler. It's you.
It's you.
Yeah. No, there's the other guy that was going to be president.
Exactly.
And there's also John Teeter. Yeah. There's also John Teeter who kind of stole my
your stick.
He took your year and turned it around. That's all he did.
Yeah, but he made money off of it. I should have done that.
Yeah, you could have.
Yeah, absolutely.
So anyway, you were going to talk about the paranormal side.
Okay, so last part of this is the paranormal side, which really got us, is what kind of got this whole ball rolling, right?
Yeah.
We've had ghost stories. I didn't put any pictures. I did have Carl Johnson right there.
Oh, did you? Yeah, that's okay.
Well, the name of your podcast is Life After Life.
It is.
Right.
Well, it is something that we've been extremely interested in since I've met Keith, for over a decade. Those first 5 years of my life with Keith and the family and everything was like really eye-opening. So, that's one of the reasons why I was so on board, because what is that?
That's my first guitar. That's my first guitar, my Gretsch.
Oh, awesome.
That's a 69.
Is that the one that the picks used to hit you in the head? Is that the one where the picks would hit you in the head with them?
No, I think I was playing a Rickenbacker and a Stratocaster during that time.
Keith had a ghost that would throw picks at his head.
Yeah.
And lock him out of the house.
Yeah. I'd be playing and a pick would just fly out of nowhere and hit me in the head.
What were you playing?
Back then I was in the metal. I was playing like Sabbath and Maiden.
Oh, that's why. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
He's like, shut up.
Yeah. And the door would slam.
No, that was the devil or demons. I mean,
it was a grumpy ghost. It was a grumpy one.
Yeah, that was the grumpy ghost.
But we've had demonologists on.
Yeah, we've had two.
We've had we've gone over exorcisms, which was
we
wild.
Had Kathy Nance.
What about your Ouija board? The first episode I saw of you guys was a Ouija board.
Dude, hey, tell them about what happened to those people.
Yeah,
I really like them too. I really like them. I hope it's going. I hope it's.
They want me.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if they want me to mention
the Ouija board is a complicated thing, everybody. And what was so intriguing about that couple is that they were really putting in some bumpers and some perimeters with that tool. But it kind of goes to show you like the power of this. That's why Cass is we used to burn sage. Rick, we would, in our early episodes, we would be in here burning sage and stuff like that.
Well, it smells good.
Well, it smells good, but also in the house where we started, not Keith's new house, our old studio, I witnessed that place being haunted, like physically, mentally. And I'm not a very like emotional person or anything like that. Like I'm pretty cut and dry. And that was a time where it was like, whoa. So even in those early episodes, we would have the sage burning because we were in a place that at one time we had both experienced some sort of, I would call it a haunting. Would you call it a haunting?
Yeah. Yeah. All the time in there.
Biting, scratching.
Yeah. I had a human bite mark my leg one time.
Intense,
wow.
Dude. Especially coming from me who had like never, I just watched kind of some ghost shows. To walk in, I still will never forget that. Walking into your house and then going to the back of the most active room and it being like water, like heavy.
Yeah, it was a thick. There was something there for sure. I mean,
we don't know how to explain it.
Caught EVPs. I caught stuff on the spirit box.
Well, I don't believe in any of that, but.
Right.
And I'm sorry. I'm not trying to tell you you're a liar.
No. Hey, I didn't either.
I live in a house. I live in a house right now. This room, was built in 1939. So I know there's people that died in this thing. And sometimes I walk into a room and I'll get like a horrible chill.
Mm-hmm.
Don't know why. I don't see ghosts or anything, but a horrible chill and a horrible melancholy that just washes over me really quickly. And sometimes I wonder if there actually are ghosts.
Well, and I think that
I can tell you they are.
Yeah, we can tell you.
Well,
that.
I do believe in the holographic universe theory, where all of us, everything in the universe is at the edge of the universe and it's being recorded, and then one day maybe it can come back. I do believe in that. I mean, that's a real theoretical hypotheses, and I really do believe in that, and that's in a way kind of
it is
afterlife.
It could be like it absolutely is. Have you? I mean, a lot of people probably haven't seen this movie. It's unbelievable. Matthew McConaughey. It's called Interstellar.
Oh my God! Yeah,
the score by Hans Zimmer is unbelievable. I was actually listening to the score just preparing for the show, but even in that situation where he's coming back and he's trying to get a message across, but he's in the other portal, right? He's on the other side of the dimension. Well, so he's trying to shake the Ahead,
I'm sorry to explain exactly what.
No, I wanted to. Yeah.
He's in what's called a tesseract, which is a time traveling box within a box within a box within a box that goes on forever, and it would be every moment in your life, and this is part of the hype. This is part of the theory I was just explaining.
Right. That's
every moment in your life will be part of this tesseract, and that's what was going on there.
Is that essentially string theory?
Yeah, well, in a way it is. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. That's my
You're going through the different strings, but it'd be more. Yeah, but yeah, I guess a string theory would take care of that.
Multi-dimensional. Well, okay. And this is a perfect place to be, right? Because at the end of the day, all of our shows, we always say this, we're always like, man, everything's like coexisting. The crime shows, our paranormal shows, are in spirituality. And I think on my notes here, oh my God, hang on one second. Because I put this on because I knew Rick was going to be on. So I said, for the spiritual, so for a crime, I had Delphi Evansdale Beavers case, CCTV, Zodiac Helter Skelter. For paranormal, I had aliens, UFOs, Bigfoots, bugs, Sasquatch diaries. Time travel, I obviously had Single 7. There's only one up in this universe. And then for spirit, I had ghosts, demon spirits. But for spirituality, here's the note I had written, Keith. It says, so what the hell is going on? We've got visions. We've got voices. We've got NDEs. We've got tales of reincarnation. We've got parallel dimensions, exorcisms, and mediums.
And photographs.
Yeah. So what the hell is going on the spirituality side? Spirit side.
Well, that's why we have a show.
Well, you just pointed that out to me, the Tesseract theory. Maybe it is human beings caught in Tesseracts.
Right.
And they're trying to get out at you. Just kind of in like that movie where he was making the marks and pushing the books.
Yes. Well, like we've had mediums on before, and I loved it whenever, and I can't remember which medium this was. It could have been the military medium. He described it as being like when you're in tune with the energy on the other side, is that you're like a street light, right? And when you're in tune with it, your light's on. So I could see where like spirits are like, let's call it energy on the other side. With you, Rick, being somebody that absolutely is like, I don't believe in that crap, probably not going to put out much effort to try to get Rick's attention. They're much more likely, on the other hand, to reach out to somebody like me or Keith, right? If I'm a spirit, I'm definitely going after Keith. I'm not going after a Single 7.
But what if they try to come after me since I'm such a skeptic, and then they can...
Well, it would be harder for you to recognize it because you are such a skeptic. Like part of recognizing it and becoming aware of what this is on the other side of, right, would be.
If I walked in a dark room and I saw a figure like, what was his name? Deltas was saying there was figures.
Delta, yeah.
Now I wouldn't. Because I suffer from sleep paralysis. And I see all kinds of strange things when that happens.
Right.
But if I just walked into a room like and there was a figure there, walking around, I might change my mind.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, that's what I mean. That's exactly it. I mean, no one really believes unless it happens to him, I think.
Right.
I've had it happen to me many times,
right,
for most of my life. But so I've seen it, so I believe it for sure.
Absolutely. And I see where Mona wants to do another reincarnation episode. Yeah. That was a fascinating episode.
Yeah, I'd like to get that kid who
he
thought he was the World War II pilot.
I tried. The family's not talking. He's not talking.
Yeah.
And plus he doesn't really remember.
It'd be nice to have a guest on who could talk about it.
Life Afterlife family. Go out there, delegating you out there to find a reincarnation guest, please. I would love to have somebody that claims to have been reincarnated.
We could probably find somebody.
Well, dude, there's a ton of people. We might need a translator because again, it's all about.
How many people do you have watching right now?
I think it said 40 to 50 earlier.
Yeah, so in that, and then their friends, they have to be able to find somebody.
Well, dude, the crazy thing is like the University of Virginia is doing a lot of research on this kind of stuff right now. Like back in the 70s, they opened up their own lab for NDEs, near-death experiences, and really started researching that. And then from there, they've opened up a lot of studies on reincarnation. I mean, they have really, really qualified people. And somebody said, like, where's the content? I think they were talking about the paranormal side. Isn't that the difficult thing? Because we talk about it a lot. Like when it comes to spirits, it either has to be scientific or spiritual. There's no like gray matter there, right? And so the science people always want the content and the data. Unfortunately,
well, I mean, how do you get voices on a digital recorder? I mean, I've caught that, and I've caught.
Well, and here's the thing: was we're just getting better and better at developing things, right?
Yeah.
And so we'll see what happens. Like I said, there's universities that are taking it serious. I know a lot of people laugh when I say universities, but these people dedicated their life to the work. So
yeah.
You said you have some off of a digital recorder?
Oh, dude, they're
Yeah.
so.
Have you ever played them for people?
Yeah, I played them.
We did an EVP episode.
We did an EVP episode. If you go listen,
well, why don't we do? Okay, I'd like to hear them. So
they're on there. Well, I got one that says "I'm here," and it just kind of whispers "I'm here" on the recorder. I got another one that just says "Look out, look out."
Yes, I heard a creepy story the other day where a girl was she has there's an app on your phone where you can record, where you can find out if you're talking in your sleep or snoring and stuff like that. And she kept recording it, and all she could hear was click, 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 and she couldn't figure out what this clicking noise was. And then one day at 2:04 a.m., she played the thing the next day, and you could hear her sit up in bed and go, "What's going on?" And then a voice was, "Nothing, go back to sleep." And it was like the most creepiest thing I ever heard. I don't believe it, but I believe she was just talking in her sleep. But it was creepy, and it creeped me out.
I mean, it definitely could have been her talking in her sleep. There's a ton of cases. I mean, you were describing sleep paralysis earlier. That stuff's terrifying. My brother.
Oh God, yes.
I was a massive sleepwalker. I used to sleepwalk around the neighborhood and take on a personality of my own as well. But the crazy thing about this situation over here was that, like, I would be in the room with Keith and my wife, who is, if anybody, Rick, someday you'll meet my wife. Hopefully she's on here. I'll say it out loud. Cass, super critical, super skeptic. We were all in the room at the same time, not hearing anything. And then you come back and play what we could hear ourselves talking, but there would be an EVP in the background.
Yeah.
It's like, where the hell did that come from? There, you know what I'm saying?
Man, I don't know.
And sometimes recording, they pick up weird things.
They're instruments, for sure.
And I'm not trying to disprove anything. It's just, I really look to the scientific explanation the first thing.
Well,
but when you have one that answers a question, that's what's weird.
Yeah, that's strange.
Science is all about numbers and data, and
Rick,
that's what got me with your thing. Was
and digital, and you're right. Digital shouldn't be picking up weird things from like errant radio.
And Rick, I sent you the I'm evil one.
That one's creepy, dude.
Well, that's like my mother, who kept saying the Ishembo.
Oh, yes.
I mean, I didn't make that up. My mother told me that story.
Right.
And then I embellished it, saying it happened to me. And
well, you had to.
But the Ishembo, man, she said, but I think it was sleep paralysis with her too.
Could have been,
because
for sure.
When I have sleep paralysis, things talk to me, and it's usually shadow people or weird faces with sharp teeth and stuff like that.
You know what that is, Rick? Because we've done shows on dreams. Is that you're actually you're letting your guard down in REM. You're letting your guard down, and therefore these energies, spirits, reptiles from deep underwater are presenting themselves and their energy to you in your sleep. That's what that is.
Well, I don't really believe
that. I had to try.
Yeah, especially from under the sea.
Yeah,
the reptile people were swimming up. Like they look like.
I really do believe, like, dreaming is really an interesting thing, and we talked a lot. We had a great dreaming episode, and I'm actually gonna go. I'll probably go back and listen to that one.
Well, the human mind is something, man. I mean, really. We haven't even begin to understand where that's going, and it can make hallucinations that you like. I think I've told you guys before, I was intubated and put in a coma for 4 days. And I had a whole life, I think, that played in that 4 days,
Right.
And,
for sure.
I went to the baseball game twice. I went to a Yankees Mariners game, and, and I can remember it very vividly, all of it, but I know it was in my mind. I mean, my mind made a thing around being in a coma.
Were you like in the just a curious question. Were you, when you went through that, was the Yankees Mariner game like in the present? Or was it in the past?
Yeah, it was in the present. Yeah.
You were the same age and everything like that?
No, actually, I don't think I was. I think I was younger. I think I was a teenager or something.
Okay.
But everything was in the present. But, I couldn't see myself. It wasn't like I was looking. It wasn't like
right. It wasn't, like third person. It was like first person.
Right. It was like I was looking around.
You could feel the youthness of being younger.
But I was hanging around in a park and getting in a car with my friend Doug and going off, and
it's wild. See, I truly believe that. I'm glad you brought up the human mind, because I'll end with this. I'll get off my soapbox. Is that the deep ocean that we've never just looked into and discovered, the universe? It's all really just a microcosm for our brain.
Yeah.
I finished a 30-day challenge that my dumb older brother put me and my daughter up to. And every day I take cold showers anyways, but every day we had to do a plunge for 2 to 5 minutes in really, really cold water. And what that does, Keith, is it actually starts over time to build a divot into your brain. It's called the toughness divot.
Is that good?
Yeah, because what it's doing is it's reprogramming and reshaping your brain to, in tough situations, be able to be like, oh, it wasn't, my brain's telling me that this isn't as bad as when I was sitting in that freezing pool. Subconsciously, my brain is changing, right? By me practicing that every single day. And so that's why I think this stuff's all microcosm for our mind. That's why this show is so awesome though, right?
Okay.
We go down the rabbit hole.
We did. So let's, I was talking to everybody about our biggest blunder.
Oh, yes.
So I'm going to share. It's about 2 minutes. Just hang in there. Some of you older people might remember this. Let me see if I can share it here. And this was horrible. Rick, you'll remember this because I think you said you watched it. So I'm going to try to figure out where it's at here. Okay. So share that. And here we go, guys.
Best intro ever.
From the high plains of the Midwest, I bid you good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, whatever your time zone might be. My nod's late and great. I'm Keith Sharp, and I'm G. Drussel.
Oh my God, I was on that show.
Yeah.
Webcast.
And the biggest question of them all.
The worst intro of all time, dude. We didn't know we were doing.
Yeah, and look at me and Garrett's expressions. Here in a minute.
Dude, you're not showing a video.
It's not?
No, I see time travel. Are we closer than we think, Art Bell?
Yes, because we haven't came on yet.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Give it a second.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Old school.
Did everybody get a crazy echo there for a little bit?
It's still going.
It's still going. Hey, Jaggy C, did you guys get a crazy echo? Did everybody get a crazy echo there for a little bit?
You know what it was?
Horrible echo.
I already figured it out.
Jaggy C, what was it? Garrett knows everything. Did everybody get a crazy echo there for a little bit? No.
You know what it was?
Horrible echo.
Okay, already.
Did everybody get a crazy echo there for a little bit?
That was wild.
That was so cool.
That sounded neat.
Yeah, I think it was coming through. We have another so cool.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I think it was coming super high. We have another thing so you guys were. Did everybody? Okay, so let's see. It's still happening. You guys are getting an echo high. Have another thing so you guys.
How long did this go?
Did everybody? It's like, what the hell is that? Yeah, it's like. Hang on a second, guys. 2.5 minutes. How funny. Hang on a second. How is that? Hang on a second, guys. Funny. Hang on a second. How is that? Hang on a second, guys. You know what? That's funny. Hang on a second. Hang on a second, guys.
Hang on a second.
What?
Oh my god!
Just when you think it was over, it started.
Okay. That should have done it. Did that do it, everybody? Make a stop. Oh my god, that was horrible,
dude. I'm hurting right now.
I think that was the show where you're going to have the
you.
president time traveler on.
No, that was the show where we were going to talk about you.
No, that was a show we did a long time ago. We were,
believed in you.
and it was when we were doing it on Time Travel Art Bell.
Well,
and
but I was on that show. I was on that show. I was waiting for you, and I was like, and I even remember saying, "Oh, you have such a professional show going on."
Oh no, we messed up your show too.
Yeah, we messed up your show too.
Oh, okay.
That was the biggest blunder right there.
Dude,
But
hurts.
I hope you guys enjoyed that. That was funny.
Rick, thanks for coming on, man.
Thanks.
I just want to say, I just recently learned what the Kingdom of Nye meant. I never knew for 20-some years.
Yeah, Nye County.
Was it Nye County or his radio station? It was K. NYE.
Yeah, Pahrumps in Nye County.
Oh, okay.
NYE. So that's how he got the Kingdom of Nye.
I never knew that. I knew he lived in Pahrump, but I just learned it, and I was like, "Damn!"
Yeah, yeah.
That's something I learned about Art Bell.
Something new all the time.
And I used to listen to him. Well, you said you didn't listen to him when he was first out. You just listened to his repeat.
I got on the tail end of the whole thing, unfortunately.
Mm.
I'm
sorry. I know you want to leave, but how did you find Single Seven's interview then?
Oh, that's Keith,
that must have been hidden in all of them.
That's Keith.
That's because when I started searching for more Art Bell, and then I came through your show, and like I said, that was my favorite Art Bell show of all time because I thought, man, this is the real deal. This guy is a real time traveler.
I still can't believe you guys thought that was real.
Oh, come on. Oh, come on.
You did a good job, Rick.
I still think it's real. That's how good you did.
Not only, Rick, it just wasn't us two. It was like a million people.
Oh, I know, but it just, I always thought that I was doing it tongue in cheek and everybody else kind of, because I knew Art Bell didn't believe it. And so I thought everybody else was kind of going along with it. Now, some people, like you said, you never got the last hour or so of the show after I left.
Yeah.
And it kind of worried me that there was people that were calling up. Like I remember an old lady calling up and being just terrifically scared about all of it, and a blind guy, and that kind of bothered me. But all the people after the show, most of them, oh, that guy's a charlatan. That guy's not real. So I just figured everybody else knew.
Nope,
not at all.
Look, all these years later.
Yeah,
you just did our 1-year reunion show with us. Thank you. You made our dreams come true.
And I shouldn't have come out. I should have just kept myself doing being Single Seven, the time traveler, and then I could have come out with a podcast, a real podcast where I don't show myself.
Yeah, and talk about the future.
Just be like Single Seven, talking about the future and getting everybody buying my stuff.
This is also part of it.
Oh my God!
He's already thought of this. This is just all part of the things. It's
well, that's what I said. That's what I said on the Unbelievers podcast, and they were all like, "Whoa!"
Yeah,
if you ever listened to that.
Yeah, I have. That's how I found out that the truth, and I was like, "Oh man."
That's one of
because that's the first thing they asked me. Is it real or is it not? And I think they were expecting me to say it was real just to kind of bring it along. And I went, no, it's just a big steaming pile of
poo
crap. Because theirs was recorded.
Right.
I mean, we did like a 4-hour show and they condensed it down into an hour.
Yeah. I'd like to hear the whole show.
We just freestyle, bro.
I know. We just,
I should have recorded it for you. But
yeah.
I was just talking on my phone. It wasn't even on the computer or anything.
All right. Well, it's 10 after. We need to go.
What a great show. Thank you, Rick.
Yeah.
Who would have ever
You're
thought
welcome.
Would be
Thank you so much, Single Seven.
And whenever else you want me on, let me on because I can.
Yeah, absolutely.
I can promote my show.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll promote it for sure.
And Happy New Year, man.
Yes, Happy New Year.
Not that it matters to you because you've been.
And you guys have a Happy New Year. I didn't tell you Happy New Year. Well, I gave you a Happy New Year text, but
Yeah.
And Merry Christmas. But
yes,
you guys have a Happy New Year.
You too, man.
You too, man. All right.
We'll talk soon.
See you later. Single 7 out.
Single 7 out. Love it.
Oh my God. Unbelievable, dude.
That was fun.
Hey, charge it.
Yep.
We did it.
All
Great
right.
show, dude.
So next week, I'm not sure. I do want to have the Zodiac author on. I'm pretty sure he would come on.
Yeah, let's talk to him.
And I want to, but I want to read his book. If I can get it read, I ordered it. If I can get it read by next Tuesday, I think I know enough about it. I could probably talk to him about it.
You're a G. Zodiac.
So yeah, I think that would be very interesting.
I agree. And it's just random that
because it's somebody I kind of thought about being the Zodiac, because this guy it got ridiculous about how much stuff he was saying towards Arthur Lee Allen, who was the main suspect.
Right.
And then a lot of it was when what got a detective's attention. He said, well, if you run DNA on those stamps, he goes, it might be mine. He said, because I licked Arthur Lee Allen's stamps.
Did they?
And well, I don't know if they did. We'll ask Drew if they did.
Yeah.
I thought I read somewhere that they did do a DNA on him and it didn't match. Fingerprints didn't match. Handwriting didn't match. But I saw some of his handwriting and it looked close to. Now, I'm not an expert, but we'll talk about it.
We'll talk to Drew.
We'll talk to Drew about it and see what he thinks. I'll go ahead and contact him and see if we can get that set up. But that's, like I said, Zodiac's one of my favorite unsolved mysteries. So,
dude, great show.
Congratulations on 1 year. You both are so fun to hang with. Thank you so much, Susie.
Absolutely, Susie.
And thank you for bringing your people over as well, because we had a subscription increase when we did that last Delphi show.
Make sure you guys like and subscribe, man.
Yeah, like and subscribe, you guys.
It makes us feel good. We don't care.
Smash the like button. Smash the like button. Leave a comment. All that helps the algorithm.
I will tell you guys again, 2022, best year.
Are you sure?
That's a drop mic. I'm dropping my mic.
Okay, well, let's hope so. Let's hope it is. All right. Well, let me get us out of here. So you guys, love you guys. Thank you so much for spending the evening with us. And I'll get a hold of Drew Beeson and see if he'll be on the show. All right, good.